So when the Bible says obey the laws of God, obey the laws of the government, remember there's a caveat to that. Mm-hmm. It's not just whatever the government says is right, is the Christian thing to do. Mm-hmm. No, not at all. When the government makes a law that is contrary to the Christian values of love your neighbor as yourself, then I'm not saying to go out and necessarily protest the law, but you can at least in your mind say, hey, it's the law of the land, but as a Christian, I have to disagree because biblically, I cannot justify making a difference between the citizen and the immigrant. This is God's land. This is God's earth, not mine. Okay, now, hold your thought here because there are important questions that rise because of this. Let's go to Acts 17, verse 26. And I think we're going to get to the questions most people have in their minds, right? What about the elite? What about the crime? What about this? And what about that? Hold on. So Acts 17, verse 26. Were you going to say something?
No, I'm just thinking.
Okay.
Citizens commit crime every day.
Exactly. Citizens commit crimes every day. So the Bible says in Acts 17, verse 26, God has made of one blood all nations of men and has determined the times before appointed and the bounds of their habitation. And some people have used this verse. Some people have used this verse to say that God sets up boundaries. But if that is true, God sets up boundaries, yes. Mm-hmm. But listen, y'all. If the verse is being used to say what people try to make it say, then it would be a sin to cross those boundaries. It would be a sin for someone from Europe to come to America. It would be a sin for someone from America to go to London, for someone from America to go to Africa. And God has no such boundaries. Mm-hmm. So if God has no such boundaries, who are we to put such boundaries in place? Mm-hmm. Because we want to keep our crime. God says, look, the crime is in your heart.
It's not So, yes, you're absolutely correct. But I don't think our immigration laws have been set up because of crime. But
we're going to get to that.
Okay.
Let's go back to the screen. And I want you to check this out, right? So God did have boundaries for Israel. There were walls set up, and there is a reason why. Yes, Israel was to protect itself. From what? Let's pause for a second. Just take this down for a second. What was Israel to protect themselves from? I'm going to use a word, and it begins with the word I. I'm going to see if you guys can guess it. What did God expect Israel to? What did God say? Israel, I will protect you from this. Begins with the word I, and it's a military word. It's a military word. So it's when not one Chinese person or African person or Mexican, not one, not 10, not 20,000, but an entire army of another nation wants to what? I. Next word is N. Next letter is N. Invasion. Invade. Very good. Governments have the right to protect themselves from invasion. That's a different story. Listen to me now. Immigration is a very different thing from invasion.